I like this card. Alright, next one. Kapow. Primal Fusion. Give a minion +1/+1 for each of your totems. I could see that being a thing. If you have 2 totems out, then that's +2/+2 for 1. Pretty good. If you have a lot of totems out, you don't have many minions, but you have a big minion with that buff. I could see it getting some play. Golden standing against darkness. That's quite a nice looking effect. Rallying Blade. Give +1/+1 to your minions with Divine Shield. There is no more shielded minibot, but there is another card that will give 1 health minions Divine Shield, and that will give all of your Divine Shield minions +1/+1, plus a 3/2 weapon for 3. Not bad. Can see it getting some play. We'll see Blood Knight getting some play, I think. Another Amgam. And a Light into Darkness. I like this. Discover a minion, give it +1/+1. Basically, hey, spend 2 mana to discover a minion, and basically make it better. It's like a localized version of the Mistcaller. This will allow some minions that you wouldn't normally play to be really good. Also, it means that you could then have a 7/7 Tyrian Fordring, and then watch him get shot by a big game hunter. Still think it's pretty good. We are 14 packs in. And there's another Divine Strength. There's another Aberrant Berserker. Another Twilight Flamecaller. Another Stand Against Darkness. And the one new card here, a Twilight Dark Mender. If your C'Thun has at least 10 attack, restore 10 health to your hero. That's a really good catch-up card. It's actually a 6/5, my mistake, not a 5/5. That is a really good card if you're playing a C'Thun Priest deck. C'Thun Priest decks, I think, might be quite decent. Basically, you need to buff your C'Thun twice with +2/+2 minions, and suddenly this becomes a 6/5 for 5 that restores 10 health to you. Or if you have an Arcanine out by mistake, it will deal you 10 damage, and you will feel very silly. But it's still a really good card. I see that getting some play in C'Thun decks. Alright. Those decks these packs never like being opened, do they? We're looking like, oh no! And then they just explode. Alright, Embrace the Shadow. It's a 1-turn Arcanine Soul Priest that you can use for 2 mana. Great if you want to do 1-turn Arcanine bursts, because putting down the Arcanine for 4 mana really slows that down. I could see it getting some play. Another Faceless Behemoth. Another Flame Wreath Faceless. That is a bit difficult to say. Another Darkshire Councilman. Getting a lot of those. And a Steward of Darkshire. Whenever you summon a 1-health minion, give it Divine Shield. There are going to be some... Imagine playing a Magma Ranger that gets Divine Shield. I think that works with the hero power too. That is why I think there are going to be a fair few Divine Shield decks with Paladin. It's a decent card that has a decent effect. Imagine that with the Silverhand Regent. And then you hero power. And then you get 2 1/1 Divine Shield minions. That's 2 Argent Squires. It's pretty good. I think we're going to see a few things with Steward of Darkshire there. Another Twilight Flamecaller. Darkshire Alchemist. Battlecry, restore 5 health. A 4/5 for 5. Which is not bad. It's basically a different kind of Dark Scale healer. Instead of restoring 2 health to all of your friendly targets, including yourself, that just gives you 5 health. I could see some people using it. It's sturdy body, it's 1 more expensive and than a Chillwind Yeti, and it gives you 5 health. It's not bad. Shadow Word Horror. The nightmare for all decks that try to rush you down with cheap minions. They flood the board, and then Shadow Word Horror happens, and they have no more board. For 4 mana, destroy all minions with 2 or less attack. It will destroy your minions too, but if you're basically fighting for the board here against somebody trying to rush you down, you're not going to have many minions on the board. It'll be a sacrifice worth paying, I think. Another Spawn of N'Zoth. Another Evolved Kobold. Alright, let's keep opening them. Let's see what else we get. A Twilight Geomancer. Give your C'Thun Taunt, wherever it is. It's a 1/4 for 2. It's an interesting stat arrangement, and it gives your C'Thun taunt. If you want your C'Thun to be a massive target for Black Knight, this is the one for you. I see Black Knight getting a lot of play in this expansion. A lot of play. I don't see this card getting a lot of play. Ravaging Ghoul, on the other hand, is another activator for patrons. All other minions, not itself. I see this having a lot of use. It's going to be able to activate patrons, it's going to be able to activate Enrage, it's going to be able to clear boards of 1 health minions. It's basically a 3-3 with Whirlwind put in. I see it getting use. Disciple of C'Thun. Deal 2 damage, give your C'Thun +2/+2. It's a weak body, but it has a deal 2 damage to it. There is the Ironforge Rifleman, which is a 2/2 for 3 that deals 1 damage and doesn't buff C'Thun. If you have a C'Thun deck, you might play this. Basically, there's the 2/3 that you got for free that gives +2/+2, but it doesn't have the... It has 2 more health, but it doesn't have the deal 2 damage. I see this getting play in more aggressive C'Thun decks. Duskboar, a 4/1 for 2. It's a beast. That's pretty much it. I see this could get some play. You could put it in that deck with the Steward of Darkshire, and then it's a 4/1 Divine Shield for 2. It might get play. Possibly. Alright. Selfless Hero. Give a random friendly minion Divine Shield when it dies, a 2/1 that will do that. I think that's going to get a lot of play. It's a nice, decent drop. Also, as a random note, I think that the Steward of Darkshire will give Divine Shield to the Defender in Noble Sacrifice. That's not bad. Moving on. Alright. The Dark Arakoa. It is a 5/7 for 6 with Taunt. That's pretty good. Plus, it gives your C'Thun +3/+3. That is really good. I can see that getting a lot of play. I can see that being used as a taunt in any Druid C'Thun. I could see that being used as a taunt without C'Thun. It's just a good taunt. It's a Boulder Fist Ogre with 1 less attack with taunt. That's good. Another Power Tentacles. A Polluted Hoarder. I was about to say another Polluted Hoarder. It's basically Loot Hoarder with its stats doubled and its cost doubled. It's a 4-drop. It will trade pretty well with 4 health minions. It will be traded into by 2 health minions. It draws a card. It's not the worst 2-drop out there. I don't think it's the new Powered Shredder, but we'll see. Another Duskboar. And another Addled Grizzly. Still don't think that's going to be a great card. But who knows? All kinds of decks may be made. Here's another epic. Here's Forbidden Healing. Spend all your mana and restore twice that much health. All your current mana that you have. That's a 5 mana heal 10. That's a 10 mana heal 20. That is a 0 mana heal 0. If you want my advice, don't play that on 0 mana. It's a shame if it was a priest card, it would be ridiculous. Imagine that. 10 mana, deal 20 damage with an Arcani. That's why it's not a priest card. It might see some play, it might not. Another Mark of Yasharge. I think I'll say that differently every time. A Blackwater Pirate. Your weapons cost 2 less, 2/5 for 4. I see that getting some use. That is an instant effect. So you could play that as a 2/5 that will let you play your Fiery War Axe for free. That's pretty good. I see that getting some use. Another Power Tentacles. And a Tentacle of N'Zoth. Basically a 1 mana deal 1... Basically it's a 1 mana Explosive Sheep. For 1/1. That deals only 1 damage instead of 2. It's a smaller version. Gonna be decent for board clearing, I think, of very weak boards. Or for activating Grim Patrons. It's like a Whirlwind in Minion form. A Golden Disciple of C'Thun. Not bad. Looks very shiny. Stormcrack again. On the Hunt. Squirming Tentacle. And a Squirming Tentacle. Well, we're starting to get to packs that we've seen everything in. No legendary yet. That will be coming, I'm sure. Usher of Souls. Whenever a friendly minion dies, give your C'Thun +1/+1. It's like a strange version of the 4/2 that lets you draw cards whenever you die. Is it Cult Master? It might be the Cult Master. But, forgotten its name, but it's a 4/2 for 4 that lets every time a minion of yours dies, you draw a card. This will just buff your C'Thun instead. I don't see this getting a lot of play. It's a pretty decent body for a decent cost, but it doesn't directly give you a buff. If there's a taunt in the way that they have to deal with, it might be useful, but otherwise they can just eliminate that and then you get nothing. Another Shatter. An Infested Taurum. It's a 2/3 for 4 with taunt. That's not great. It makes a 2/2 slime without taunt. This is not a replacement for Sludge Belcher. This is also not a replacement for Piloted Shredder. It's something else entirely, and I don't think it's going to see that much play. I really don't see it's going to see that much play, but I might be wrong. Another Disciple of C'Thun, and a Shadow Strike. Have you ever wanted to deal 5 damage to your opponent on turn 3 when he has maximum health? This is the card for you. It's a good way to trigger combos. You deal 5 damage to an undamaged, like any undamaged character, even your own. You could actually use this to kill your own Sylvanas for 3 mana, and then trigger it after it's attacked. That's something I realised just now, but it could see some play. Alright, what we got? Another Stormcrack, another Eldritch Horror, a Zealous Initiate. I don't know if I've seen one of these previously. Death Rattle gives a random friendly minion +1/+1. It's a 1/1 for 1. I think you should play it when you have a fair few minions on the board that you definitely want buffing, or one that you certainly want buffing. It's interesting. It's a 1/1 that gives 1/1 only when it dies. You won't really want to silence it, so it will probably go off unless they kill the minions that it's meant to be buffing, and then they just kill it. It may see some play. Another Mark of your Charge. I'm definitely going to say that differently every time. And a Corrupted Healbot. Fair enough. Alright, we are 24 packs in. And here is a Spreading Madness. Deal 9 damage randomly split among all characters for 3 mana. On average, this is going to deal about 4.5 damage to both you and your opponent if you have nothing else on the board. And if you have more health than them, and you believe you could survive it, and they won't, it's not a bad card. Against all minions is why this is only 3 mana. Otherwise, it would be really expensive. It might see some play. It might see some play anyway with Yogg-Saron, a Twilight Elder. It's a 3/4 for 3 that gives you a +1/+1 to C'Thun at the end of every one of your turns, including the turn you play it. So it's a 3/4 for 3 that gives +1/+1, and then the next turn will give another +1/+1. A lot of C'Thun decks are going to play this. It's a nice, sturdy minion, and I see a lot of C'Thun decks playing it. Another Twilight Darkmender, another Hooded Acolyte, and another Mark of your Charge. I really am going to say that differently every time. Alright. An Evolved Kobold. A Servant of Yogg-Saron number 2. Excellent. Another Carrion Grub. Another Bladed Cultist. And another Psychotron. I like that. I like that Psychotron is a common. Another Dark Arakoa. Good. Another Infested Taurum. I'll take it. Another Blood Cell Cultist. Excellent. A Twisted Worgen. It's the Worgen we all know and love, but with 1 more attack for 1 more mana. I could see this getting some play. Definitely. The fact that it has stealth makes it really, really good. I was just taking a drink there, so, there we go. 1 drink consumed. Moving on. Stand Against Darkness. Gotta have a drink on hand. It's always a good thing to have. Nice glass of water. Unlike this flame-wreathed Faceless, it doesn't have a glass of water. That's why it's angry. An Usher of Souls. A Blackwater Pirate, another one. Ooh, a Golden Usher of Souls. Ooh, very shiny. And the Ravaging Ghoul. Okay, moving on. Next one. A Shadow Strike. A Darkshire Alchemist. A Twilight Darkmender, another one of those. Another Usher of Souls. And a Blood Warriors. Add a copy of each damaged friendly minion to your hand. Ooh, I could see a lot of Patron Warriors using that, because you can then copy a lot of Patron Warriors and then just make even more Patron Warriors. Or another Grom, or another lots of things. It's like Echo of Medivh that's conditional, and that's why it's a little cheaper. I could see that getting a lot of use in Patron decks. Definitely. Alright. What have we got? Another Silithid Swarmer? Another Nerubian Prophet? A Primal Fusion? An Infested Tauren? And another Primal Fusion. I think we have more Primal Fusions than we know what to do with! But that's neither here nor there. A Squirming Tentacle. I was about to say a Swarming Tentacle. That's very different. And I have no idea what that would be. A Golden Blood Cell Cultist. Look at all those sparkly gems. And look at that crab that just walked by. That's amazing. Look at that crab. That crab is awesome. And another Adult Grizzly and another Mark. So, no legendaries yet. However, let's see what we have here. We're getting there. Another Aberrant Berserker, another Eldritch Horror, another Amgam Rager, another Twisted Worgen, and another Blood Cell Cultist. We've got a lot of Blood Cell Cultists. Moving on. Alright. We have an Eater of Secrets. Bye-bye, C'Thun Mystic. Hello, destroying secrets and buffing minions for it. If this thing eats one secret, it becomes a 3/5 for 4. Which is already a little better in stats than the C'Thun Mystic, but you don't have the secret. Arguably, C'Thun Mystic was stronger. But I suppose the Eater of Secrets, if you have a ton of secrets out, will basically destroy all of them and become super powerful. I mean, at maximum, it will gain +5/+5 to be a 7/9 for 4. It basically is, hello, mysterious challenger. You have no secrets, and I have a 7/9. I'm going to play it in something at least. Another Eldritch Horror, a Spawn and Bazoth, a Carrion Grub, and an Usher of Souls. I have a lot of Usher of Souls. There's a lot of ushering that needs doing. Ooh, there's a legendary. We'll open that one last. An Aberrant Berserker, a Squirming Tentacle, a Steward of Darkshire. We have two. What do we got? There is Twin Emperor Veclaw. If you have a C'Thun deck and you have 10 attack, this thing is going to be a 4/6 and a 4/6 with both with Taunt for 7. That's pretty good. That's 8/12 worth of stats separated over 2 pretty solid minions. 2 Druids of the Claw for 7 mana. That's good. If you have Bran Bronzebeard out, that's 3 4/6s with Taunt for 7 mana. That is pretty amazing. That is pretty amazing. Sorry about that interruption there. Let's move on. Okay. What else have we got? I'm very glad I got that one, but it's not actually the legendary that I actually want right now. There's one in particular that I really want to get. And it's not an Infested Tauren. That's not a legendary. Or a Bladed Cultist. Haven't seen anything new here. That's not something new either, but I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it. What else do we have? As a random note, only 2 of my 10 decks are actually currently standard viable. The Shaman deck that I have actually had no GVG. Oh, hello, Evolve! It transforms all of your minions into random minions that cost 1 more. That's pretty good. Unless you have a board full of 1 mana costs, in which case there's about a 10% chance, I think it might be a little more, that you just get a Doomsayer. Which is not what you want. But if you have some pretty decent minions, you can just evolve them all into ones that cost 1 more. And that's pretty good. They won't be able to attack, but they will be fully healed. They'll be at full health. That's a good card. N'Zot's First Mate, and a Bog Creeper. Marvellous. Okay, moving on. Another epic. A Golden Blood Warriors. Ooh, that's a nice effect. Look at that. Yeah. Stand Against Darkness. And a Corrupted Healbot. Another rare. A Addled Grizzly. I've got a lot of Addled Grizzlies. I'm going to have a lot of dust. I'll be able to use that to craft whatever I want, pretty much. And there are a few things that I want. Hello, Tentacles for Arms! If the meta is really slow, this is a very reliable way to always have a weapon. To always have something that will buff your pirates, and to always be able to hit your opponent in the face. If it's not, it's always a very good way to have basically something for Harrison Jones to eat, or a very expensive 2-2 weapon. I'm not sure how much play that will get, but it is a weapon that you can't get rid of. Also, there's a lot of rares in this one, not epics. If they were all epics, that would be amazing. So, Shadow Word Horror. A Golden Skerum Cultist. That is actually a really nice effect, even though I don't think it's a great card. And another Skerum Cultist. That one's envious that that one's golden, obviously. Let's move on. Next pack. Ooh, I've got 2 golden ones of those. They're nice. A Calaxy Amber Weaver. If you're playing a C'Thun Druid deck and you have 10 attack, this thing becomes a 4/10 for 4. Even if you silence it, it's a 4/5 for 4. That is a very good minion. C'Thun Druid decks will always have that in. Shadow Strike, Divine Strength, and On the Hunt. Alright. Next one. Sorry, card pack, I had to open you. Right, Steward of Darkshire, Shatter, Psychotron, Spawn of N'Zoth, and Twilight Elder. I think that might only be my second Twilight Elder. Not bad. Usher of Souls. I have a lot of Usher of Souls. Light and Darkness. Anything new here? No. We're already starting not to see many new cards. What else have we got? Oh, we've already got plenty of those. Hello, Amgam. I've got a lot of Amgams. A lot of Amgams. Oh, there's nothing new there at all, actually. Alright, what's next? Another rare? Another Rallying Blade. I've got a lot of Rallying Blades. And basically nothing new there either. We're just sort of breezing through these ones as there's nothing new at all. Ooh, Legendary number 2. We're going to open that one last. C'Thun's Chosen! A 4/2 for 4 with Divine Shield that buffs your C'Thun by +2/+2. It's kind of like a Piloted Shredder in that it trades pretty well. It'll at least trade a hero power and then into a minion. And it's basically got the C'Thun buff in it. It's not a bad minion. Here is a Doomcaller! If your C'Thun is alive or somewhere, you get +2/+2. If it's dead, you get it back. A very slow card for a 7/9/8, and that's what it does, but I will see at some point some footage of somebody playing C'Thun twice because of it. I wonder what the synergy with that is with Bram Bronzebeard if it's dead. Does it make it twice, or does it then make it and then give it +2/+2? Anyway. Princess Huhuran. I was actually thinking of crafting this one, and I'm very glad that I have this one, because I have a Hunter Daily, which I was really wanting to do. A 6/5 for 5 that triggers friendly minions' death rattle effects. That's really good. That's really good. You can use that to trigger Sylvanas, you can use that to trigger all kinds of minions. I like that minion, and I'm glad I got it. Very happy I have that. I think it might be the only Hunter Legendary I've ever got. Ever. But I'm glad I have it. Possessed Villager. Hello! It's a 1/1 for 1 that makes a 1/1. That's not a demon. It's not a demon, the Shadow Beast. But it's a really good way to play a 1-mana minion that's got 1 health that won't just disappear when it gets pinged by a mage's hero power. Or a druid's hero power. Or anything that deals 1 damage. It's sticky. It's a sticky 1 health minion that's 1 mana. There aren't many sticky 1 health minions. Argent Squire is a little sticky, but that's for a different reason. Still, it'll have its place. Darkshire Alchemist, Duskboar, a Silithid Swarmer, another one of those. I have a few of those. At least there's no 2 Ice Howls like last time, eh? Fiery Bat, another Servant of Yogg-Saron, a Embrace the Darkness number 2, a Faceless Behemoth, and a Fiery Bat. Not bad. Getting a lot of epics. What else have we got? This is Blood to Ichor again. I'm glad I have 2 of those. Another epic! Forbidden Healing number 2. Not bad. On the Hunt, and Stand Against Darkness. Nothing new, but still nice to see all those epics. Alright. What have we got? Divine Strength. A Golden Bladed Cultist. Not bad. Twisted Worgen. The Rubian Prophet. And an Undercity Huckster. I think that might be number 2. Not bad. Alright, moving on. Here is a Stand Against Darkness. Oh, nothing new. Oh, another Skerum. Getting a lot of Skerum cultists. But I'm not going to complain about Skerums. Alright. Nope. Anything new? That's not new. Feral Rage is new for me. Give your hero +4 attack this turn or gain 8 armor. One person said to me this is the end of Mark of Nature. The important thing to know is this gives your hero +4 attack, or you gain 8 armor. It's either basically heal 8 or gain 4 attack. But it's not exactly heal 8, necessarily, because of the fact that that it's armor and not health. So it's a little different. You don't have any armor synergy with Druid, perspectively, or at the moment in perspective. But it's still a decent card. And give me one moment.